Okay, good. Twitter. There it is. All retweets. Go for it. You got time. Yep. Yeah. Oh, did you? Okay. Wow, my Facebook is so slow right now. Come on. Oh, I still gotta remember to record. Check. Hot for you or hot for me? What? Your mic was on. Huh. Okay.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Nook's Tavern. I am your humble host, Philip D. Keating, and with me, as always, is my Earth Day daddy, Kurt Booten.
Hey, how
Kurt,
you doing
I'm
today?
doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I love this new Morse code toy that you got me.
Oh, well, I knew it would keep you, busy as we did our live show here every week over at twitch.tv/imaginarynomad at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For now, because as of next week, we will be starting a new Twitch channel, and we'll tweet all that out. It should be twitch.tv/Nook's Tavern, but we just got to make sure it's available. So, anyway, as we do during our show, let's get the boring things out of the way first. Patch 1.2 is now live, and also Nintendo has supported this game better than most of their other games.
Yeah, no, it's really been. Well, you know what's really been pleasant about the patch system is that the patches don't take forever.
No, and it's
they're
good.
pretty quick.
It's really
yeah, it's
good.
Great.
But we were just thinking about the other day how this game has been upkept and paid more attention to than Mario Party did when Mario Party first came out. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, give us some Mario Party love. Come on. So let's go through the boring stuff. They have added Lief with his gardening shop, Red and with Jolly Red's treasure trawler. Some added seasonal events that we'll go over later on in the show, and then addressed issues for further enjoyment of the gaming experience. So let's talk, man.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot to cover. There's a lot to go over this week. But first and foremost, we have a new friend in studio. Well, not in studio, but in the actual world itself, with the introduction of Leif. And he gave me a lot of nice shrubs and some flowers I didn't have. What about you? Did you get anything off of Leif so far?
I did. I bought some shrubs. I bought the two varieties of shrubs that were available to me, and basically planted them right outside the plaza, just because I want to see what they look like. From the videos and pictures that I've seen, they look pretty awesome, and they're going to make for some really cool decorating around the island.
Yeah, I was gifted 4 today from Leif.
Wow.
So 4 different kinds, 2 different hydrangeas, and I forget the other ones. But I had
no, that's what I mean. Two varieties of 2 different types
Got
of
it.
bushes.
Well, I was on somebody else's island today to sell some of my bugs since my shop is being updated, I guess. Renovations are being done. And when I checked out their leaf stand, there was only 2. There was only 2 different kinds of shrubs. So I guess that's going to vary from island to island and from town to town and person to person. So, but it's cool. I replaced a lot of my fencing with the shrubberies. And hopefully when they come out in about 3 to 4 days, they look really nice.
Yeah. What's going to be interesting too is that from what I've been reading, the shrubs will flower, but only during their season.
Interesting. I didn't know that, but that's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. It really is, because then you'll get this this variety year round that you may not have been expecting when you first planted.
Sure.
So yeah, we've got the azaleas that bloom in the spring. We've got the hibiscus that bloom in the summer, hydrangea that bloom in the summer, tea olives, which bloom in the fall.
Okay.
Camellia, which bloom in the winter, and holly, which blooms in the winter. But you got to figure that's the Christmas holly, or winter holiday holly.
Wintervale holly.
Wintervale holly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. And then what we don't know yet, is there any kind of cross germination, any kind of science to that?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say no, just because they plant like trees, right? They don't plant like they do flowers, but you never know. I mean, the trees don't seem to self-produce like the flowers do.
But they do have flowers in them.
I know.
That's the thing.
I know. I find it unlikely, but we'll never know until, a little bit more time has been dealt with them.
Right.
I picked up some holly from a friend's island, and I planted that in front of my museum. And,
Nice.
I'm excited to see what other options we're going to get, especially since breeding flowers and cross-pollinating flowers is very, very intricate. It's going to be
Yes.
nice to get something new. So I've just, I bought 5 of every flower because, I didn't have any lilies and a couple other ones I didn't have. and I've just been planting them in diagonal rows to see, what's going to happen with them in the near future. But I am really excited. And strangely enough, Kurt, I'm never really in real world. I've never been a flower guy. Like,
Oh, really?
just
Okay.
I could leave it or take it or leave it. I never really cared. But for the first time in my life, after playing Animal Crossing for about a month, I went out and I bought a bunch of flowers and we've planted them around the house.
No
So
way.
I'm not kidding you. It's a real thing that's happened. So it should be nice because they're good flowers, they're nice flowers, and the kid liked planting them. So
Sure.
I'm excited to see what other flowers we can throw around the house.
No, that's great. That's great. Now, are you planting them or putting them next to each other to see if they crossbreed?
I mean, I may have left 3 blocks of space between them to see what happens, but we never really know. Probably nothing's really going to happen, but at least the outside looks nice during the spring and into summer months.
Sure.
With this expansion or this update, this event, we also have an introduction of one of my most frustrated, hated characters in the game, Crazy Red. What can you tell us about Crazy Red, and how do you get him onto your island for him to sell you forgery of art and statues?
Okay, so Crazy Red, he's gonna have his day. What I hear is we will talk about him in Behind the Bells. At least that's what he told me we were gonna do sometime in the near future. Not tonight. It's too soon. But basically, Crazy Red. The rumor is that he's selling forgeries as well as real paintings, and you have to figure it out. Now, the way that you get to interact with Crazy Red right now is you have to go and talk to Blathers first.
Okay.
So if you have not spoken to Blathers today, go do it now. Not you because we're doing a show, but you got to go talk to Blathers, and Blathers will say something to the effect of, "Hey, because of your generosity, we can open up a new wing to the museum where maybe we can showcase some artwork." And that starts the timer, and Red should show up in your town tomorrow.
Interesting.
And then he'll do the, "Hey kid, do you want to buy a picture?"
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, and it'll start that whole storyline. I'm not going to give away what that looks like, but it's an interesting interaction, and frankly, the dude in the bag is going to have a field day with the interaction that Crazy Red puts forth. So. And then after you buy the first painting, I guess the trawler shows up somewhere.
You would think either on your secret beach that's normally at the north end of your island, or I mean he's on a boat, so like we have a dock.
Yeah, I mean, from everything that I've seen, just from all the videos that I've seen, it's the secret beach. But at this point, if you don't know where your secret beach is, explore your island more.
Yeah. I mean, here's the funny thing. I mean, you're supposed to be able to see. You're supposed to be able to look at the art and say, okay, something this either looks correct or something looks off, which is going to be interesting because, look, this is the first game that we've played where it's been in HD, right? So it's going to... You couldn't tell before. You really couldn't. And the only way you would tell is buying it and then going to donate it, and Blathers telling you it's a forgery.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how detailed we're going to be able to inspect these paintings or these statues, and then cross-reference what we already know about them. So that is a really cool aspect.
Yeah, the few that I've seen, they look beautiful. I mean, just in HD, it's no more blobbed pixels.
Yeah.
And what I haven't seen is kind of a breakdown of forgery versus real, and that's okay. I don't want to see that. I want to discover that on my own.
Yeah, likewise. And I'm sure there's already people that have been posting about it, but I'm with you. I like to take this game one day at a time and save the experience for myself instead of watching the experience through the eyes of other people.
Right, agreed. Oh, and so does Tiger Moist.
So this week in my island has been pretty productive.
Cool.
I was sitting at 2 stars for a while,
Nice.
And it was like, what do I have to do to get that 3 stars? And I was just talking to Isabel, and she's like, just come on, dude, invite more people to your island. You want to have a party here. You got to bring more people in. So I built a row of 3 different houses, and I've been going out and being very selective on who I'm allowing to be brought onto my island.
Okay.
Because I am looking for somebody in particular, but I haven't found him yet. But I did get enough new people that I deemed cool enough to hang out on my party island of City 17. And I, as of 2 days ago, got my KK Slider concert, which I was very happy to get.
Oh, nice.
Because what happened was I went into the plaza and I saw all these chairs sitting around, and I was like, oh, these chairs aren't here before. I know it. So I run in. I kick the door into City Hall, and I was like, you, Isabel! And she's like, you got it! And I was like, yes! And then the last couple days have really just been realizing how non-straight all of my buildings are as I lay down paths to everything. And
Yep.
everything's just skewed off by like 2 to 3 blocks. So I'm excited to have to give the raccoon more money just so I can have straight paths and not have these weird winding roads going everywhere.
I was thinking about that. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to design your island like you can design your room by changing views?
Exactly. That's what everybody wants.
And just, it would make because I want to kind of envision the layout first before I lock things into place.
Of course.
And now I know that there are some websites out there that will do island design where you can actually kind of do that, so you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's not the same because you can't like import the design.
Correct.
So, but yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and once again, I bought into the turnip game at 91 bells a turnip, and I cashed out yesterday morning at 475, allowing me to pay off my upstairs, which I was happy about.
Yeah, I actually did buy into some turnips.
Oh no!
I did.
What?
Well, part of the problem was I had some extra cash, and I said, well, let's see what happens.
E2, Curte? E2?
I don't know that I'm going to do it again, but I did it. And so I bought in at 92.
That's second lowest you can get, man.
Okay. And I sold at 147.
Okay.
Because I just didn't want to take the chance. And honestly, I had my Nook's Cranny was closed yesterday for its upgrade. And when I went and checked the turnip prices this morning, 79.
Oh, well then you made the good call on that.
So we'll see, but it helped pay off part of my house.
Oh,
so I
shame,
just
shame,
got
shame.
a new mortgage on my basement.
Good.
So,
Good.
Yeah.
What else? I hit a bamboo island this week, so I luckily had a bunch of apples in pocket. Ate all of them and just dug up as many bamboo trees as I could, planting them at the top of my island to kind of give it a zen bamboo island around my heart pond.
Nice.
So, and something that's really stood out, not on my island this week, but the community itself has really went above and beyond their normal awesomeness. On Twitter, there is a hashtag that's been trending called KK Slider Album Redraw, where
those are so good.
people are taking classic albums, obscure albums, our favorite music albums, and just doing a KK version of it, and then posting both of them so you can see the before and after. But it ruined my night. I was up until 12:30, 1 o'clock, just going through all of them. Like, I found all the Radiohead albums, all the Tom Waits records. I found random ones off of the Elephant Six Collective, a random indie collective of musicians down in Georgia that I love so much, like your Neutral Milk Hotels, Weezer. I found everything. And I had to send them to everybody because that's how excited I was about this.
So what's your favorite one been so far?
Oh, man. So I think as I pull up my phone gallery of all the ones that I have saved, I think my favorite one so far is there's a MGMT Management's Congratulations was really good. But this one of KK Battles the Pink Ribbits, which is a Flaming Lips Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots cover, which it's so good. It is so good. I'll tweet it out after we're done this episode, but It's so pretty, and the work that these people put into their art, I love it. I couldn't be more happy to see this weird art community just shift and grow.
It is pretty remarkable at just all the album covers that they've done. What was the hashtag again on the ones on Twitter that was going through?
It's the KK Slider album redraw.
KK Slider album redraw.
Yeah.
And there are so many. I mean, and literally, while there's some obscure ones, your favorite album is probably up there.
It most certainly is.
And it is remarkable.
And that's the thing, right? It's what do I love? I love music and I love Animal Crossing, and these two worlds have just collided into keeping me up for hours and hours every night. So
yeah, I one of my favorite ones that I've seen so far is the Purple Rain album, and it's just
Purple Rain one.
KK on a motorcycle.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I will be searching for it after the show.
With Isabel looking out the door in the background.
It's perfect.
It's just so good.
But like somebody even did the Life Aquatic soundtrack that Sue George did of all the David Bowie covers in Portuguese. Like
right.
they're obscure albums, and like they're all the obscure albums that I love so much. What was the other one? The King Crimson. Right?
Oh,
somebody did a KK Slider King Crimson, and it was phenomenal.
That is so
So
cool.
if you guys can, we have retweeted and liked a bunch of these on our Twitter page, or just go out there and find your favorite records. Kurt, what have you been doing this week?
Yeah, so what I've been doing primarily is kind of just paying off that house and trying to get ready for my Nook's Cranny expansion. And really just getting ready for Earth Day, because we knew that Leif was coming, but we really didn't know to what extent and what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because what in other Animal Crossing games, Leif, you could pay Leif to clean up the weeds, right, in your town, and that doesn't appear to be the case right now.
No, but you can pay him and he'll give, or you could sell your weeds to him and he'll give you 20 bells instead of the 10 that the Nooks will give you.
Right, which honestly is still not worth going to a mystery island for.
Oh, yeah, certainly not.
So there's that. Let's see. For visitors, I got Kicks, I got Flick this week, so that was good. And I finally caught another big fish that I was missing. I just got the tuna. So that's good. Yeah.
I think that goes out on the end of April, so it's a good thing that you got the tuna.
Yeah, I found Big Fish Island.
I'm sorry.
And as one of the mystery islands.
You found what?
Yep, Big Fish Island, which has hybrid flowers as well as only size 3 and above fish.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep. It is pretty cool, because while you do catch a lot of sea bass, I ended up filling my inventory with no sea bass, a bunch of oarfish, a tuna or two, and then red snappers.
Gotta love
red
those
snappers go for good money.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
So I was one happy camper.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so
really
the only
awesome.
thing that would have been better is if I could have sold them for double the price.
Yeah. The luck of getting that and then having CJ show up the next day.
Right.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been great. So, but yeah, it's otherwise it's really just getting ready for Earth Day. This Earth Day thing, one of the nice surprises was that it was not a single day like we expected.
Correct.
It's a 2-week event.
Yeah, till May 4th is when Earth Day is going to go on, with a little bit of overlap of another event / holiday that we'll talk about maybe a little bit after the break.
Okay. So let's see. So you went through your stuff primarily. So I actually found a couple of little things here. When you go fishing, how do you operate your controller?
Traditionally with my hands.
Okay. good. Let's take that a little further.
Okay.
And and so you cast out your line and you get a bite. What do you do?
I single tap A.
Do you really?
I do.
I kind of hate you
I,
right now.
I used to be a multi-tapper,
Yep.
but I realized very, very soon, a couple games back, that you could just single tap A and it pulls it in.
Yeah, not me. I was an A masher. I mashed my A. So, so the other thing I found after figuring that out was, when you are crafting something, you can hit the A button while you're crafting and speed it up.
Of course, yeah. You taught us that a couple episodes back.
Yeah, all you need to do is double tap it.
Yep.
And it'll carry through.
I figured that out right after you told me how to speed that up. So.
Okay. So I did not figure that out until this week. It's made my life a little bit easier.
Well, that's good.
So, so this is a carryover from last week. We want to get into this now, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We
Okay.
got it.
So this is something we wanted to cover last week, but it was just too big of a topic to talk about in the time that we had. And so, yeah, it is flower breeding. Now, I will tell you that much smarter people than I have figured this out. But there is another YouTuber whose name is Austin John Plays, who found this information, or I got this information from him, and it is all about breeding flowers. And the breeding of the flowers is way more complex than people expected. And it's actually built. I can't even speak. It's actually built upon real genetics. The system uses basic Mendelian genetics. I don't even know what that means, but it's a genetic system that science folks know, that you are taught in school if you went to a good school.
They're called what genetics?
Mendelian.
Oh, okay.
Why? What'd you think I said?
Nothing.
Okay. So, and you can actually make use of what are called Punnett squares to predict offspring. Now, I do have a vague recollection of what these are from when I was in school, and they're these grids that you lay out dominant and recessive genes in anything and figure out what the likelihood is of breeding things with dominant genes, things with recessive genes, and all of that. And they actually use this real genetic science in the game. And it's a little crazy. So we're going to link to this giant document about what that entails. But I'll tell you that it is ridiculous. He puts, for an example, in here how to guarantee yourself to get blue roses, for an example.
And it's insane, right? Like, you have to cross two different ones and then cross two different ones and then cross two different ones. But also
it's worse than that.
But it's also like, as you're crossing those two, you have to cross the roses multiple times, and then bring them together and hopefully get like a 0.005% chance of getting blue roses.
Right, it's something like that, yeah. And so I will tell you, so the blue rose path is 9 steps, and there are sub steps below those steps. But the very first step is breed 2 seed whites, which means you have to breed 2 white roses that are grown from seed, not transplants, but from seeds.
Correct.
And to get a purple rose, which sounds like it makes no sense whatsoever, but there's only a 25% chance of doing that. So you have to do that until you get a purple rose, and then you have to breed the purple with a seed yellow to get a white rose. And that's, so there's this whole thing. We're going to link to the document because we don't have time to read this encyclopedia here. Also, our very own friend Nicole, who is one of the co-hosts of Crash Test Pilots, a podcast that we like. She made a Google Doc with a list of all of the flowers and the percentages, and it's a lot easier to read. But if you are into those flowers and want to breed all the hybrids, you must read these things, because otherwise it's like banging your head against the wall with no chance.
And the cool thing is that she's ditching the spreadsheet and she's going to cover it in a video that she's going to make this week. So
That makes perfect sense.
Once that video is complete, what we'll do is we'll put it on our Facebook, we'll put it on our Twitter, and I'll then backlog it into our show notes, just so everybody can check that out. That's insane.
That is awesome. It completely is insane. And those original grids that people were putting out that showed you how to lay out your flowers and everything, they're kind of nonsense, because it's not that clean.
Yeah.
So you've got to do the genetics. It's so insane.
I hate it. I love it and I hate it. And just imagine trying to program like realistic flower genetics inside an Animal Crossing game. It seems so insane to me.
Well, and I could view one of the programmers in Japan going, "Oh, I could finally do this," and just going insane.
I always said that the reason that this game was delayed is because of the museum, but I gotta kind of think that the flower genetics that are mimicked actual real genetics has to be the actual reason that this game was pushed.
It bloomed a red flower. It's not supposed to do that.
Oh, God, it's so insane.
Can you imagine the testing of that?
No, I don't want to. It sounds infuriating.
So let's move on to something lighter, and that is
quantum physics.
Quantum physics, yeah. One of my great pleasures in the game is finding musical instruments.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah, and so I'm setting up a music room in my house, and there's a couple of really cool things. One, there's a pretty wide variety of musical instruments, but what I've not yet found are brass instruments. No trumpets, no tubas, nothing like that yet. I'm hoping they're in there.
Now, may I ask, were they in past iterations of the game?
I don't recall.
Okay, I mean, I could literally pull the City Folk bulk out from behind me, but I just haven't.
Right. So the cool thing is just finding all the instruments and the variations of the instruments, and one of the things that I want to do eventually is, what you can do is go to set up in the plaza or anywhere where a lot of your islanders are, and put a record player out there and play a KK Slider album, right?
Yeah.
And if they're close by, they'll sing to the album.
It's adorable, and I love doing it.
Right. But did you know that if you put your instruments out there and they're nearby, they will play the instrument to the album?
I had no idea that was a thing.
So I want to set up a virtual band and have everybody playing, as many as I can get them to happen. I think that'd be really cool. But I also, so one of the things we want to do is throw this out to you guys listening on the podcast. Do you collect musical instruments? What have you found? What do your music rooms look like? We would love to hear from you. You can send us emails. You can at nookstavern@gmail.com, or post to our Facebook pictures of your music room, facebook.com/nookstavern, or to our Twitter, nookstavern. We would love to see pictures of your music rooms and the different musical instruments that you have found.
And the thing is, they all now come in different colors. So I'm going, I've got 3 guitars, and I'm still missing the one. But the thing that I need the most is an orange amp, because Orange Amp is an actual musical company, and the amps that are orange in the game look dead on them, right?
Oh.
So I need one. I was at a friend's island today, and he had a green foot pedal board. Yep. I already have 2 pink ones, but I was like, well, I need the green one as well. This is how this works. But yeah, I've always been a music collector in real life and in digital worlds of Animal Crossing. I know in past I've gotten sitars, and since I have and know how to play the sitar here in my house, I always enjoyed picking a sitar up. So
nice.
Hopefully they have it back in the game.
One of the things I wish we could do, hang the guitars on the wall.
Well, that's the thing, right? So there's the ukulele, which is a small thing, or even like the tambourines or the pan flutes or the ocarinas, these small instruments. I wish I
Right.
could just put them right on the wall. I can understand the guitar has the stand built onto the back of it, right? And you're not going to do two different pixel things for the game, but those smaller instruments, they can be hung right on the wall because they have nothing except the instrument itself.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, it would be nice to be able to maybe even like a display cabinet for the small instruments.
yeah, something.
Something. Yeah. So cool. Time for a break, maybe?
Yeah, so that's where we're going to take a break for the moment. If you're live in chat, hang around with us. If not, on the podcast, enjoy the small ad. And when we come back, we will talk about this trailer that dropped this week. All right. Let me just look at chat real quick. If I can pull up the window correctly. There it is. No, I did not pick up the alto sax. I already had one. Yo, AC Cribs. There's actually a dude who's a podcaster called N64 Josh, and he is doing Animal Crossing Cribs. If you submit your name onto his website, he'll come and feature you in one of his videos.
Cool.
I think that's about it on that. All right, so let's go into the trailer.
Okie doke.
All right, and we're back. So we had a 1 minute and 44-minute trailer drop this week, kind of planning out the entire couple of next events that are coming between now and June. So we have Earth Day, which we know, or Nature Day, that's running from April 23rd till May 5th. And I don't know if there's anything that's going to go on with this more than Lief in town and buying weeds. I know that
I'm
we
not
have
sure either. That was a little bit of my concern, actually.
Well, I know that there's the Nook Miles. There's special Nook Mile things that you can do for Earth Day, but other than that, I didn't know if they had anything else planned.
Yeah, I've not heard. The interesting thing about the Nook Miles thing is, at least today, there was only one.
Yeah, same. I only had one.
So
And it was
is gonna
like
be a once a day thing. Or?
Plant one shrub, and I was like,
Right.
All right. I just planted 40, but sure.
Right.
So I'm not sure about that, but what is coming at the 1st of May is something called May Day, which it looks like you're going to get a one-time only May Day ticket to bring you to a special island. May Day is going to run from May 1st to May 7th, so just an entire week. And from what we can tell, you are on a maze island?
That's what it looked like. It looked like this weird hedge maze that had stuff on it, including tools.
Yeah, it's strange. Where we might have to break some rocks or dig up trees, or I guess we're going for the, I don't know. It was very Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire maze quest, or the Shining hedge maze, or even But what is in the background of that video is a shot of Rover just chilling in the back, right? The back of his head is right there.
Right.
And that's interesting because there's an arrow with a house on it, like a little sign pointing towards Rover. So I don't know what this is. I really don't. I'm very curious. I'm excited about it.
It could be all kinds of things, right? It could be like the Mystery Islands are all replaced by these Mayday Islands.
Oh,
and
that could be
maybe
a
Rover
thing.
is just a random islander kind of waiting to meet somebody.
I miss him, man. I mean, we open up on the GameCube on the bus with Rover, right? That was her introduction to Animal Crossing. So I'm always excited to see him coming through. Then we have the International Museum Day running from May 18th to May 31st. And
I'm kind of excited about that one.
I am as well. I'm a little surprised they didn't match up the expansion of the museum with this event, right? It seems like the perfect time to roll out the new wing of the museum during International Museum Day.
Unless there's another thing coming.
Well, and there looks to be, as there's a weird stamp program, right, with in-game rewards through a stamp rally where you just go around getting stamps around the museum. I don't know if it's a a one-time thing or if it's a add to our dailies kind of thing. From the
Right.
18th to the 31st, if it's a one-time thing, it seems a little, finish it in a day and then, move on. So I believe there has to be something more to fill that time.
Right, right. And then the question also is like, is Brewster part of that expansion?
Well, he has been data mined, right?
Yes,
There
yes.
has been data mined of that. So you would think, maybe you're right. They open up the cafe and bring in Brewster and the roost and all that. So that would be awesome.
Yeah. But any expansion with the museum, I am happy about.
I agree.
So the event after that is the June event, right?
Correct. So that is the wedding season, and that's going to run June 1st to June 30th.
That seems to be the weirdest thing for me.
Well, it's going to get weirder for you because it's being held on Harv's Island, it looks like.
Oh, I might have to skip that event.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about skipping that event. But inside the video, we have Cyrus and Reese as they're getting married, and you have to take photos of them. But it looks like we're going to get, a rollout of new, possibly new furniture from like chapel pew seatings to flower arrangements on the walls and whatnot. So it's a peculiar event for the entire month of June. That's a long time to do an event. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with that, but I can tell you I'm not looking forward to going to Harv's Island too much.
Yeah, neither am I. I don't know. I on one hand I'm going, well, that's really weird. Weird to the point where I'm going, I don't understand the point. On the other hand, man, it seems like they're trying to throw a lot of events at us to give us a lot more stuff to do, and that's really good.
Yes, I will always take events and something new to keep players in the game, right? It could simply be that between May and maybe July, they didn't have an event or anything planned, and they
Right.
don't want the player base to get bored or end up taking the game out of their console or switching to something else, and just put in this a wedding event to kind of bridge the gap between the May event and Freedom Day or whatever they're going to call Fourth of July. So it does seem like a strange event, but also if it means more furniture is coming into the game and more costumes and something to add to my daily quest, then I'm all for it.
Me too.
As long as they listen to the community like they did during Bunny Day, right? They listened to
Right.
us. Not completely.
And I think they learned a lot. I think they learned a lot from that first event.
I hope so. I really do. So hopefully the events going forward are more fun and hopefully not as tacky as the furniture from Bunny Day, but from Wedding Anniversary Day, I can't think it's going to be less tacky than Bunny Day.
We'll see.
But that's
It's gonna
cool.
be interesting outfits.
It's
Maybe
really
we'll
cool,
get our
man.
tuxedos.
I mean, they're giving us a look into the future, right?
Right.
They're not keeping us in the dark like Nintendo tends to do, especially in this year where things are kind of being canceled left and right. They're letting us know, hey, this is what you can expect from us for the next few months.
Yeah, it's been a little strange as to how forthcoming they've been with information.
Yeah.
And I find it refreshing.
Yeah, agreed. Especially when we were coming into this game really in the dark till about like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before this game released.
Right.
Like,
right.
You got to remember, I wasn't going to buy this game
Right.
until that direct dropped, and then I was like, I am the most sold person out of all the people here.
Right. Yeah, I was sold regardless, but yeah, even that we didn't hear. We knew an Animal Crossing was coming, but we didn't hear about it until way later than we expected.
Way later than
And
we
then that was a
wanted.
tease, right?
Yeah.
That the initial one was just a tease.
Yeah, it was.
So-
It was. Hey, we're working on this. It's been pushed. We'll see you in 2020.
Right. Exactly.
Anything else
anything
to
else
say
in the
about-
trailer?
No, I think that covers it for now, and I'm just excited to see how these weird events like May Day and International Museum Day and Wedding Anniversary Day kind of unfolds, since they're not like a traditional holiday like Bunny Day.
Right.
They're in-game made holidays, so it's interesting to see how they're going to handle them.
Yeah.
So
Sounds good.
I guess that leads us to our segment.
Okay. Let me go. Let me
Go out
grab
and get
him.
your friend, and I'll intro the segment.
Well, let's settle down. I'm not sure I'd call him my friend, but he's a guy I know.
Okay.
So, all right. So let me go grab him.
Go get your guy, and
Right.
join us, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a look behind the bells, the Nook Syndicate story.
Okay, here he comes.
You got yourself a little bit of bamboo to snack on, bud?
You know, you take your food where you can get it. All right. So.
So,
No. Okay. No. Okay. I don't know. I
no,
really
sit
shouldn't-
down.
Okay. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
How's your week been? You doing good?
It's been okay. What's this tiger
Don't.
doing here?
No, don't. No, there's not a wire in there. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
So,
Huh? What?
so it's been a week. How's your week been?
Well, it's been a little crazy. I've been looking over my shoulder every single time, and just people are following me. People are looking, and
Okay.
this I was kind of hoping I'd get a little pressure off me when this whole Earth Day thing hit, but no, because it just so happens that the guy I was going to talk about this week was Leif, and of course he's in town now, so I got to be very careful.
Oh, is he? Is he following you, or did you plan this, or how'd this come around?
I didn't plan it. I just look. The information finds me. I don't find the information.
Please
It's
stop playing with that tiger on my
just-
desk.
I can't help it.
No,
I got a
please.
little nervous twitch.
Okay, don't touch it.
All right. So, I'm sorry.
No, it's
Okay,
it's
so-
all right. Stop touching it, but it's fine.
Okay. So, I'm going to call this segment "Turning Over a New Leaf." So
Ugh.
I know. Well, I could say "Leave it to Beaver," but it didn't make any sense.
But Pascal's not
so-
in the game yet, so he's an
This isn't
otter,
funny.
but that's fine.
This isn't funny. Okay, so, did you hear something? No. Okay.
No.
All right. So, I was considering not talking about Leaf this week, but the timing was just it had to work out that way. So, as we spoke about in the past, the supposition was that Leaf was replacing Isabel as the host of the Earth Day, but he's really just a figurehead.
What does that mean?
Well, you talk to him out in the plaza, and he's just selling you seeds and bushes and things like that. And when you drill down, he's just the seed vendor.
Yeah, he's a really nice, friendly dude. He's very delightful.
Or is he? So
But-
he's providing seeds and bushes that are new for this event. But why? Why is he providing those? It's so Nook, who is really running the event, can control the seed market through his Nook Santo shill, Lief.
Nook Santo shill.
Yes. You want shrubs? You must go through Nook. There are also rumors that Leif is a powerful figure in the Rakuza, but more investigation really does need to be done on that. Leif will do us all a favor by buying up all of our weeds, but this is just a scam to get us to clean up our islands versus Nook doing it because he should be doing it because he's the proprietor of the island. When's the last time you saw him cleaning up anything in the island?
Well, Mr. Nook has, graciously brought me onto this island, and, I just feel like it's my part of the community to help clean up and get this island back in order.
Yeah. So the other thing that we got to find out is Leif is showing up in the plaza like other vendors have shown up in the plaza.
Sure.
But is Leif going to relocate as he has in the past? Is he going to end up in the newly expanded Nook's Cranny?
Oh, that's a good question.
We
maybe,
don't know.
I don't know, but, if he's gonna pay rent and all that, I think it'd be just fine for him to move into the side of Nook's Cranny.
Oh, of course, because that is where all the actual money laundering happens. And what did you hear that?
No, what was it? Don't touch my tiger.
I think I heard something. I gotta get out of here.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So don't trust Leif.
Uh,
I'll see you later.
All right. Thanks, guy. Oh, jeez. I'm really nervous for that guy. But, since we're a platform and we're a place for him to, I guess, feel safer, he's always allowed to come on here and talk his nonsense. Kurt, welcome back.
What'd you say to him? He ran right past me.
I
I
mean,
couldn't even protect him this time.
It's the same thing as always. He hears a noise. He touches the tiger on your desk a couple times. And
well, you gotta touch the tiger.
Well, you don't have to. I might have told him that there was a wire inside that tiger. We don't know. I don't know. But but I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight. Kurt, where can people find you?
I can be found all over the net, but on Twitter I can be found at VO by Kurt. On Twitch I can be found at Kurtstable, and all over the place. FTH Beyond, GSTU Media, Bromakers of the Stream Apocalypse, FTH Beyond, I said that already, and Storytime with Kurt on my own channel, and hopefully in our new studio next week.
Yes, hopefully. And you can find me over at Imaginary Nomad on all social media, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Support me if you want. I would greatly appreciate it. But the show has a Facebook, which is facebook.com/Nook's Tavern. Twitter is at Nook's Tavern. If you have a moment, and we know you do, please head on over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review, like our first 5-star review.
We got this 5-star review from Captain Hygiene. Captain Hygiene, who I believe we've seen in the chat room. He writes, the crossover between casual gaming discussion / true crime coverage you've been looking for. Good casual discussion as the hosts build their islands and keep up with the week-to-week New Horizons updates. Learn from them as they botch their money tree setup, laugh as they run around islands in their underwear, but most importantly, keep up to date on the Nook Syndicate and all the aspects of the island life their slimy, crimey tentacles reach into, at least until they catch wind of it and shut it down.
And as a thank you for writing a written review for Nook's Tavern, our in-house artist, Emily Swan, is giving you the opportunity to have your villager drawn from island to inbox. So for the first 10 written reviews that we get for Nook's Tavern, you're gonna let us know, and then we'll get you in touch with Emily, and she's going to draw your villager free of charge just for you. And it's good for the first 10 people. So Captain Hygiene, you'll have one coming out to you, and the next 9 people who do this will also have that coming their way. Speaking of Emily, you can support her over at patreon.com/Emily Swan and follow her on all social media at a swan named Emily. Email the show with either your favorite KK Slider art or pictures of your islands, picture of your music room, all of that razzmatazz over at Nook's Tavern, jeez Louise, Nook's Tavern at gmail.com. We have a Discord where everybody trades, marketplace prices, what's hot items and turnips, and that link is in the show notes. And if you want to support Nook's Tavern or Nook's Tavern, possibly a Patreon coming soon. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Anything else, Kurt?
No, just keep playing and let us know how you're doing.
Yeah, and if you want to join us, we'll be at twitch.tv/Nook's Tavern at 8 p.m. every Thursday night. Come join the live crowd. Come have fun and shake them trees and catch them bees. See ya.
See ya.
All right, hit stop. Almost a 50-minute episode. All right.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot this week. Nook's Tavern. All right, chat. If you are still with us, which I know you are, let's come up with a show title. and I'll show you guys my island as we go over this.
So I will. Oh wait. Oh, I'm gonna follow
sorry.
you.
Nope.
Yep, that's all right. So yeah, my idea for the show title was hey, you want to buy some weeds?
Hey, you want to buy some weeds is a pretty good one. Took's Navern.
Took's Navern is actually not bad.
Is that a Hogsworks robes? Yes, it is my Hogsworks. And also, Kilted, thank you for the camera, for the in studio, man. It was dope. Thank you so much. Just call it Took's Navern.
I'm gonna change into my wandering clothes.
Oh, I put mine into my storage.
Because people didn't see it. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah. I love it. Isn't that that's a bullfighting suit, right?
It's a bullfighting suit with an Ares head.
Yeah.
And Coke bottle glasses. Why are you Naruto running?
It's how I run, bro. Yep. I went into the Illustrator, made myself a pizza. I have the sewer grate, and once I caught 2 turtles, I was like, well, I might as well just make myself a pizza and put the turtles around it. It's funny, I got these black roses, which are pretty dope.
Yep.
Got my shrubs all set up, my flamingos, I got my cocoa tree over here. These paths, man, they are a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Which is why I really do wish we had a way to design.
Yeah. But even when you're
cool.
when you're laying down a new house, like if you come over here to my second row here,
Yep.
this second house is 1 block off.
Oh yeah.
And I tried my hardest to line it up perfectly, and I failed by a 1/4 inch.
Huh.
So all right, what did I say? Did I say roses? I meant tulips. Yes, you're right. Thank you, Nicole.
So you're gonna call it Took's Navern?
I think that's the best one we got.
I do too. I mean, sure. Hey, you want to buy some weeds? Has some charm to it.
I can put that in the show notes.
Nah, that's okay. No, Took's Navern is a great organic title.
Took's Navern. Have you seen my bear called Beardo?
I don't think. Did I?
I got to introduce you to Beardo, man. He's a lunatic. He's my favorite, and he's you in Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, he's the one with the sideburns.
Yeah. And he's got the most grandpa house ever.
Yep, you did.
Oh, Beardo is so great.
Yeah, I had somebody move into my island, and they moved out the next day. Like,
Jeez.
they literally came, did the campsite, got into the house, and then they said, I think I need to leave. And left. And I let them go, because I wanted to see what would happen.
Sure. Don't you have someone coming to visit? Actually, leave it to me. I'll give your friend a real City 17 tour, Beardo style.
All right, I'm going to actually head out.
Yeah, I know you got to go. Everybody in the live chat, thank you so much. We will see you next week over on the twitch.tv/Nook's Tavern or Took's Navern. We don't know yet. But we appreciate everybody for coming out. I love you guys. And we'll see you next week.